Behind the glitter and sparkle of many popular nail bars, the treatment of some of the staff is so bad it's being described today as modern-day slavery.
Well, immigration officers raided almost 300 nail salons right across the UK. Almost 70 of them were fined for using illegal workers. They arrested 97 people for suspected immigration offences and identified 14 people as potential victims of modern slavery and trafficking.
Joining us now is Reid from the Salvation Army, which provides help and support for many victims of modern slavery. Good morning to you. So this was quite a wide-ranging operation, really, looking at lots and lots of different sorts of nail bars. What's the difference between somebody who is working illegally here and a modern-day slave? I mean, how do you know the difference?
Well, there are a number of indicators, but the kind of things that people can look out for are people looking frightened, looking that they're as if they're being controlled, perhaps looking malnourished, just making you perhaps feel a little bit uncomfortable. And modern slavery is about somebody being trapped in a situation that they can't get out of. And that's perhaps in this situation the defining feature. So whether it's because they feel threatened, because they, their families at home are being threatened, for one reason or another, they feel that they can't get out of that situation. They're trapped, and in that situation, they're being exploited, forced to do things that they don't want to do, working long hours with either little or no pay.
And are you surprised at how blatant this is? I mean, I guess when a lot of people think about modern-day slavery, they think about it happening behind closed doors. Obviously, these are really public-facing roles that these people are doing. They're coming into contact with customers on a daily basis, and it seems that nobody's really knowing what's going on.
Well, we've seen a huge rise in the number of people being referred to us, and I think that's because there's much better awareness that modern slavery isn't just something that happens behind closed doors. It's not about people being locked up, chained up, unable to be out and visible. It is about people being forced to work in situations that we see every day, like nail bars.
What are the worst cases that you've come across then of what people have been having to put up with?
Well, awful living conditions is very common. People living in sheds, in basements, multiple occupancy, very little food, working long hours. It's not unusual either for victims working in nail bars to be sexually exploited as well.
The thing is, as a customer, you don't really pick up on any of that, do you? And quite often, you know, there's a language barrier, particularly with some... you know, this is a Vietnamese nail bar. There's a lot of those around. I don't need to pick out them in particular, but you can't really have a conversation, actually. And so when, you know, the boss is chatting to you, you don't know whether that's coercive or whether that's control or what. You've got no way as a customer of really knowing, have you?
I think it is very difficult to tell. And whilst, you know, if you're not paying much money, if it's cheap, you might ask the question, why is it so cheap? But it's not exclusively cheap nail bars. It could be happening anywhere. So any service that's being provided, it's difficult to spot, I will grant you that, but if something makes you feel uncomfortable, then respond to that kind of discomfort.
And what should people do if they do have suspicions?
I think if you think this is serious enough, I think call the police. It's a number that everybody knows, but there's also a 0800 helpline number, and the Salvation Army also has a 24/7 referral number. The numbers are there. Do something rather than nothing if what you see makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Anne. That's Reid from the Salvation Army. It's just, you know, awful to think that that's going on under everybody's noses, isn't it, without them even suspecting.